All right, this week we are looking at the Open Residency Podcast. One of my viewers wanted me to break it down, and I thought, let's give it a try. It looks pretty cool, just looking at a few of the frames, but let's take a look at it on the iPad. So on here, the first thing I notice here, let me get my pen here. This, you can tell like the cables probably ran behind the table through here and then down here, and then you can kind of see a little bit here, and then I think they Photoshop, like it might be where like this is the actual frame and then they Photoshop more, or not, maybe they have a huge cyc wall. But yeah, it looks like they filmed at a cyc wall or something like it. It's just all seamless, but there's definitely like parts of the frame that are never going to be moved could easily be airbrushed, and they could even probably have the light closer and we just can't see it because they airbrushed it out and you can't really see how close it is in here. But I will say, let's go back here, it is just one light source, and it's a hard light source because let me see if I can undo here. So if you look at the lines here, if the farther the light source, the harder it is, and these lines from the table are super hard, and you can even tell on their faces too. So yeah, definitely one light source up here. It's most likely a lantern. We'll play with the lantern first, and then if it's just like a huge softbox just going down, like just angled directly down, then it might be that too. But yeah, it's definitely just one light source. There's no hair light, there's nothing, you can't see anything back there. Let me hide this little guy. There we go. No, come on. Okay, nope. Okay, go to the side. All right. So now looking at the frame, I mean, even the way the shadows roll off, it's very harsh. Or it's like you can just see the shadow line a lot more than you can if it's a softer source. The way it gradients from light to dark is a lot softer, and this is just a harder roll off. And yeah, I mean, even just trying to find the position here, look how small the light source is in. That kind of oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. I mean, it's just a dot, so that means it's pretty far, because I'm using, let's see if you can go back to me. I'm using my light source is huge, and it's right in front of me, and you can kind of see in my eyeballs, I'll try to zoom in on the video, that it's there, and you can just see how big it is. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, so yeah, one light source that's kind of far away, but I love this style. I mean, it's minimal, vast, it's just super open. It's just them. They are definitely popping out from the gray white. Well, it's like a white backdrop, but with not as much light turns into gray. Yeah, let's try to recreate this in Satellite. All right, this was very hard to kind of figure out. Now, some things I realized once I started doing it is the lighting here on their face is kind of hard, right? That means there's a smaller light source, but then this shadow of the microphone is very soft. And then looking at this, this is a hard shadow, but then these two are soft. So then I was like, okay, So we either have some kind of Photoshop happening up here that is taking out the soft boxes that are kind of far but not that far, or it's doing something like this. So we got this also. I don't think he had another angle. He didn't have a close-up angle. I only ever saw this angle, which is about 100 millimeters on a full frame, 2.8, 200 ISO, which I think in their wide shot, look at how bright their faces are on the side angles, but then look how bright they are in this shot. So this is telling me that their ISO on the main shot is a little bit hotter. So if we go here, I left it at, I think, 250. So you can see these are hard shadows. To get the lights out of the shot, I had to use like a freaking Fresnel or even a reflector would be fine, but it had to be so far away. And we get decent results, I think. We get the lighting happening here, very similar to here. And on his face, same thing. We have all the shadow here, and that's where all the shadow is here. And I feel like there's even... No, I think that feels pretty good, actually. But yeah, look at how hard the shadow is of this. So what I would do is, one, you could definitely execute it this way. This is actually really cool. And then it's just like in a cyc wall, huge warehouse. And again, who's to say this wasn't also maybe Photoshop? Because if you're not moving, like if you're not moving around this area and this area, maybe not this shot, but this shot, I think definitely they could cut out the top and just paste whatever they wanted up there. That's what they did here to hide the cables. If you look over here on the right side of the frame, it's kind of like a little squiggly, and that's where all the cables went, and they just took them all out. So what I would do, knowing if it was Photoshop or not, I would definitely move these lights way closer. So let's put like a nice softbox on there, nice softbox on here. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna lower those. So let's try to mimic. Let's see what's going on here first. So these are still pretty high. Let's look at this shot to kind of compare it. And probably around there. That's where yeah, see that now we don't have like barely any shadow, but maybe let's go farther back. This needs to be a little brighter now. See, this is so diffused. And so now we got that same diffusion. And then let's try to get this. The whole thing with this was so hard because if you look at his baseball cap, you have to get under it. Like, how is there light coming from underneath the hat right here? You know, that means the angle had to be so good. So let's see. Because there is some shadow from it. Let me just try to put them in the same. Okay, let's see what the wide looks like with these. Yeah. So let's turn this on. And even this is like too much. Like if we look here, there's just a little diffusion here. So maybe like that. Maybe we try to cut that angle even higher, closer and higher. Like that. Closer, higher. And then this kind of gets us a little closer. See, the table's still hard from like having this light source just be an ambient, just to bring up the ambient. Without this, it's really dark. So doing that gives us a little bit, and then now we have our little diffusion on the sides, and this one is hard from that one. So let's see, that would be so easy to take out in Photoshop. Boom. And now we're getting better results. Let's look at the See, it's a little bit softer. This can actually move a little bit more. Be like a little brighter. It's because I need it to be, maybe we just go a little hotter. Yeah, that, and then let's go here. See, that looks cooler to me. If it was Photoshop, I say go for it, and then you can get these results. Let's look at this angle that doesn't exist. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then this is like his main angle here. That it's like right here. I could see it being farther away. So maybe it really is really far away and just a smaller light source, because this might be too soft now. Anyway, let's go over the lenses. So this is 24 millimeter full frame, and then we got a what is this, about 100, I put it at 94, like a 24 to 105, 2.8 full frame. This is 138 on a 70 to 200, 2.8, same thing, same here. I just copied them, 138. And then this is a 105, which you can probably just use a 70 to 200, like two of those, and then one 16 to 35 or 24 to 70 on this shot. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna move these up for the screenshot. All right, again, thanks for commenting and having me do this one. This is a really cool podcast, and yeah, I would love if you know anything about this, because I think there was another podcast that they did Photoshop the key light out, where they covered it with like something else, and so that's why I'm like, somebody's doing something in production to hide these key lights, and it makes it look really cool. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the next one.